The 20th National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party will take place on the 16th of October. It is a twice-in-a-decade gathering, so clearly all eyes are on this meeting. Well, there are no big surprises for anyone. Chinese President Xi Jinping will secure a record third term, cementing his hold on power as the most powerful leader since Mao Zedong. But that's not the only thing that will predict how well it goes. Xi Jinping will lead the party, but who exactly will follow him? And how strong will his grip over the ruling party be? Well, there are a few signs that indicate whether the leader is secure or if he is in fact facing pushback from within the party. One is the standing committee. There are at least 2 vacancies on the 7-member committee. This is only if Xi Jinping enforces the traditional 68-year-old retirement age limit. Now, this committee is incredibly crucial. It manages almost all of the affairs of China. If he has more than 3 allies there, the leader would be safe. But any appointment of leaders like Premier Li Keqiang, for instance, or the top political advisor Wang Yang could mean trouble. They are associated to the Communist Youth League, which is a key power base of former President Hu Jintao. Coming to number 2 now, the Premier's job. It is unclear whether Li Keqiang will retire or stay. However, he will give up the role of Premier. So who will be China's next Premier? Promoting a former aide of his could help Xi Jinping. This would essentially mean that he would face very little resistance. But anyone else's promotion, especially those who are not close to the leader, could be counterproductive. 3. Politburo vacancies. 9 out of 18 Politburo members will retire this year. That will give Xi Jinping a chance to remake the body. He can oversee new appointments and will fill seats with his allies. And if all goes well, 80% of the appointments could be Xi's allies. But if it doesn't, the leader could face some pressure to compromise. 4. The title of the people's leader. Xi Jinping could end up formalizing this name. That would put him at par with Mao Zedong. Securing the name Ling Xiu is one of his priorities. If he does, well and good. But if he doesn't, it could signal at some resistance. Coming to number 5 now, the topic of official titles. Xi Jinping has 3 titles, that of party secretary, president, and commander-in-chief of the military. He could keep all of them, surrender one, or even get a new one. Let's think of all those scenarios now. If he keeps them all, it could be a sign of growing power. Surrendering one, however, could look like he is willing to share that power with perhaps a successor. And last, the party charter. This Congress would be an indicator of how much support Xi's slogans and policies receive. Xi's doctrine could get a shortened name, something like a Xi Jinping thought, almost similar to Maoism. But the failure to do so could mean trouble. It would mean that the party has doubts over his power. And to discuss all this and a lot more, joining us now is Jamil Jaffer from Washington, D.C. He is the Assistant Professor of Law from the Scalia Law School and also the Executive Director of National Security Institute. Jamil, welcome to WION.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we know that Chinese authorities are currently ratcheting up nationalistic sentiment ahead of this big meeting. Tell us something about the big challenges ahead of Xi Jinping before the Communist Party Congress.
Well, obviously, China is facing some significant economic and political challenges. In particular, the COVID lockdown has caused trouble in many of their large cities. They have, obviously, population issues. And the pressure that have come on internationally with the goings-on in Taiwan, the situation in Hong Kong historically, and the like have raised significant issues for the party leadership. That being said, it does seem likely, as you mentioned earlier, that Xi Jinping will, in fact, be reelected to his 3rd term, an unprecedented 3rd term as party chairman, at least since 1989.
Right. Just to follow up on that, there's been plenty of speculation about how strong Xi's grip on power will be this time around. We've seen reports of a crackdown on any kind of disloyalty, so to speak, ahead of the Communist Party Congress. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's not surprising. This is the standard move that authoritarians make domestically when they face a potential challenge to their leadership. They crack down on dissent, both in the public square, but also within their own party. Oftentimes you'll see purges within party leadership to ensure that loyalists are in place. And as you pointed out, the key will be who the new prime minister is, and hopefully, and in Xi's view, hopefully for him, he will have somebody that he prefers. A former staff member, ideally, would be perfect for him. Bad for, of course, the allies out in the West, because that would represent a burgeoning set of control for Xi, and of course a challenge for India with all the challenges they've faced with that regime in China on the border and the like.
Absolutely, Jamil. Thanks so much for all those insights. Thanks for joining us on Wion Fineprint. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.